Hello. Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you what is Python and what is coding. And I have some really good exercises for you. So get ready, sit back and relax. So first, let me tell you the website we are going to be using. The website is repl.it or you can type repl8.in. This is the newer link, the newer version of the website. It, yep, sorry, it's not .in, it's .com. On this site, you can do free coding. Let me show you how many languages it is. Python, Pixel, Emacs, Java. It has got almost many of them. So you're going to be using just this. I don't think this name is good, but I don't think I won't need to use it. First, when you download, then we'll click on the first exercise link. So there will be a fork REPL button. For example, if I just uh, let me think, let's just do this and anything. So let's just check one of my things. So don't worry about this link. This link is not required to you. But you see, there's fork REPL. When you will tap this, it will ask you to log in. But you don't need to worry about logging in. You can just log in through Google or anything. It is completely free. It won't take any of your credentials except your name, which is like my name is Sean here. God give me. That's my one of my older Gmails I used to use. So let's come to the main topic. What is Python? So Python is a coding language. And what is coding? I'm sure you guys all know because you are not going to just direct skip on a language without learning how to speak. That's the most common basic thing. So I'm sure you know. So Python is a coding language in which the user codes, and it is a little bit easier than Java, in which you can do the things like web development, game development, and other stuffs like coding and making some projects, such as for me that I've made some basic projects for the current videos I'm going to be uploading soon, and all are going to be live. So if you are new around here, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so that you won't miss any coding video. And I also upload some game based videos The only downside to coding is it's a virtual thing, and it requires you to have a electronic thing, and it takes you hours just coding and coding. So it just gives a lot of stress on the eyes when coding for like 12 hours, 16 hours continuously. So that's the downside. If you can't handle sitting on the laptop, PC, or whatever you are for a few more than a few hours, then doing coding and becoming successful in short time is not easy, because doing things in short time require you to overdo, like doing 12 hours continuously coding, or 10 hours or 8 hours. That's an overdo. Generally, we are supposed to do coding at the max is 6 hours, so that we can give a rest to our eyes. Otherwise, you'll end up having a specs, a power specs. So I don't have my face cam on, and I don't have a face cam, so I can't show what I'm trying to express, because I have got a specs and I'm 14 years old. So it's a lot of burden. But if you play games, so you should learn. While learning coding, you can play games. That's okay, I say. But after learning it, you should not play games, because coding will already put a lot of stress on your eyes. So I have told you about coding, and I told you something about some parts about Python. I'll make a specific video on those, and I'll stream it with you guys, so that you can see me live and you can ask me questions. So if you have any doubts, comment, put that in comment section. After every sometime, I'll check the comment box and reply. So for the time being, let us start with the topic, the most basic thing in coding. So if you want the computer to do something for you, you need to tell him to. To tell him, there are functions, and function is something you learn a little bit later. But so let me show you just not w3 python docs.python.org. So these are just the functions, like the len function. It's going to be early function. The print function is going to be the first function you're going to learn, which I'm going to just teach you. As you can see, the name of the exercise is printing exercise. So these are all the functions. Import function is also you're going to be learning early a little. There's much functions like string, numchar, string, converting things from a type to different type. So what this is, when you are writing something, it is a string. But with writing, if you write a number, the computer will reject it, because the number is not a string, it is an integer. So for that you'll need a float. So these things are just to make you understand. It is not something that you need to learn now currently. So first thing we are going to use is how to make computer print what we want to print. So if I want the computers to say, don't worry, I'm not going to make it print hello world. If I want to say, and if I run it, to run it in here you need to do press control enter, or on Mac it's command enter. And another things, this is your file. You don't need to touch anything else than this. You can just go to settings. First it might be side by side, you can just keep it stack. And the normal font is this is tiny. I keep it large so it's easily visible and you don't have to focus much. You can keep it huge if you don't want, but huge is a problem. I think the huge is a little bit too much big for me. If it would be like the size of my cursor, which is large, a little bit bigger than that, but not this big, so it would be easier, because later when you're coding it becomes just so difficult, just scrolling again and again, up and down, up and down. So large is something I say, and then space sizes, spaces, keybinds, and wrapping. And if you are a little bit know about Emacs and Vim type keybinds, you can use them. But here, generally the code, sometimes the code intelligence is disabled. If you enable it, you see the red black line below this. If you putting in stacked hello lol. So here if I do this like I do some things, so you see when I run it, it's only going to tell me the first thing. But here it tells you. So for me it's off because I do not like it just come right here, because I generally don't use Replit much because I do some advanced level coding. But for you guys, I should say first we'll start with Replit, then I'll give you to switch to it something another, and later we'll be start using Virtual Studio. So after it's done, you can do this. Here then the files, when you will create something, it will be main.py. But here for you guys, I have some markdowns for you guys so that it's a little bit easier. So that the example output and the hint. And this is going to be your first exercise. And today I'm going to give you enough knowledge that you can do two exercises at once. So let's just start with the first command we generally use. So it is the print function. You see, this came. This is the code intelligence. And another thing, if you want to speed up things, control and backspace works. And for if you do this hashtag, so it will separate the line for the computer. So like I just do anything. So let me just remove the print. And now if I just let me show you. So if you see, oh, did I do any mistake? Oh, you don't need to keep it like I did. I'm sorry for that. I always forget in this you don't need a capital letters not allowed. So you look, the hello has been removed. So the it's commoned out. So like if you have bunch of letters that you don't want to use, so you can just control slash, either control slash or either control slash again to do it, other command slash on Mac. So let's start with the basic thing, print function. And here I don't know, it's bugging or something, it's not supposed to write that. But here after you write print, you don't need to just press enter to click it. After you have written print, what you might want to do is you want to put a column, and here you will do the column of the 9, not the right side column, because due to it's a coding website, so it just automatically picks up the double column and the cursor will be in the middle of the column. So you don't need to worry about placing the cursor and stuff in this website. That's why I chose this website. Some websites don't do it. So after this, if you type anything, so and you do it, and it won't work. And yet it says the name error, name hello is not defined. Because unless a thing is in a function, print function, it needs to be in these column or in the single quotes. It needs to be in double quotes or single quotes. And I'll tell you later why we use double quotes. But for now, you need to understand when print function is being used, here comes print and then a bracket, and bracket will alter, and then you will put what do I call it? Well, you might know this sign. It's about near the left, on the left side of the enter key in laptops. Generally, I actually just forgot it because I'm not the one of the people who just have a script ready to speak. So let's see if any comments. Nope. So hope you are understanding what I'm trying to say. So next, if you do it, it will print hello, and we can use it as much times as we want. And if we do this, it won't print it because it. So if you do a mistake like this, container mistake, the computer, the system will not print this because the system in the access, it goes from up to down, it scans everything, and then it utilizes it. So it makes sure what it needs to do, and then only it does that. So if there's an error, it will just speak the error, not do the other things. Oh, and that's this hello is the older hello which I printed before this. So let me just clear this. So I know this is the most basic things, but this is what I need to tell for the beginners. So let's come with the second thing. Now if you need to just, oh, I'm sorry for that mistake. So I'll just copy it, and now if I have to print it multiple times, I'll have to copy paste it here, and that's not what I want. If I just want to use a single print statement here, a single print statement, you understand? I mean, I don't have to write. So what would I use? We'll use a backslash, which is above enter in the laptops, well, I mean non-Mac things that don't know about Mac, and we'll use the N, and you see it became orange even after being outside of this. It's not because of that, and if I take it outside of the brackets, it's of no use. So it needs to be rather inside the bracket. And if I do this, and generally you do this, and it's like backslash n HELLO, and if you do this, this happens. It'll just print the backslash n. So it's not something you wanna do. So you do this. I'm sorry, there was someone who came to ask something. So if I do this, and I'm here, just a single, so I'll just do backslash and then another set of parentheses, and then HELLO. Oh, did I just missed it? Missed it. I'm sorry for that. Backslash and let's do it again. Let's run it. What's there? Oh, I see. So here you need a single parenthesis, and there you go. Yep, it did as it is supposed to. So let me try it without it for you. So don't think I'm messing this up. I'm trying to show you the ways, and it's done. And if you don't do this, boom, it works. It might be a little confusing, so it's better just to do this and have a space just before it. So it's like lined. It's lined and it's easy for you to read. So these are the two functions. So as you know, in print, if you just do another parenthesis and then anything in it is like, so it won't work. You see, unexpected index EOF. And if you don't understand anything, you just read it, unexpected EOF. So you just Google it. Python, and it'll just tell you. Generally, the first link is like Stack Overflow or Python.com and something. Stack Overflow is good, so it'll just have like this. I'm getting so so yep. So it's just like, so here now the code is what a minute, wait a minute. This is like this. This you got it, but here you don't need to Google it. As you know, I just mistaked and an extra parenthesis, and if I just remove it, it's all good again. It might be a little too much of detailing and speaking thing again and again. It's just so that the beginner of the starter person, it just gets to understand everything. So in the first link you see, there's a debugging exercise for you where I've made a few errors. You don't need to change any wording. The words are good, but there's errors. Don't ask me, just like it said me. And so you guys should pause the video, and I'll give you 5 seconds to pause the video, and after that I'll just help you. I'll tell you. I know this is live stream, but I know there won't be any views right now as it's 12 a.m. on my in my area. I live in India, so my English might not be that good. I'm sorry for that. So so if you're done, so let me tell you. The first thing you see is the color of print and the color of day one is the same. And you see here it ends a string and it creates another string. So we don't need those strings, and we don't need this one. We need it to be here. So if you run it now, it won't say in the first line. And the second line is perfectly fine as it didn't say you. But instead of doing this, like doing one and then checking, doing one and first of all, see all of them, do what you can, and then check it. Here you can clear it, and here you can search something. In the search function, I do not recommend using it now because I don't use it. So let's go to second line. Print string concatenate is done with the plus sign. Okay, and here is the issue. The plus sign is excluded here, and we need it to be here. Okay, so what was then, the string was started here and it was ended right here. So and another string started here which ended here. So it became this part and this part. And for this is something I will tell you here. So when you do the print, oh gosh, I don't make this mistake. and you go here plus plus and if I just, okay, wait a minute. Okay, so if I print it, it's gonna print hello world. So if I put a space here, it's going to be hello world. And if I just remove the space and put the space here, there won't be any differentiation. So this was the thing. The plus is used to, this is a string, the hello word is a string, and you can remove the string and you can just join two strings together. So let's move on. So we had to remove this sign and this sign so that it's okay. So in this, you see the print is going somewhere else. So after using one backspace, you have to use two backspace. Here it was a little, you might have used one backspace and then it's moved on. So that's okay. So here it's single parentheses. Okay, example print hello world. Okay, this looks all good. So here are the, okay, there's a one parenthesis here and there's two here. So either we could do two here or we could add two more parentheses here, which we are not going to do as it's not required. And here print new lines will be created with a backslash n. So here you see, first of all, I'm sorry for that. So here's one is extra, and here this one's extra, and the question mark needs to be inside. I know that might be a little tricky, as I said, you don't need to edit it. So here, and now if we run it, this should be working. So here you see it has the plus sign in the example set. But if I do what I had done earlier, okay, so what happened, let me see. Oh, sorry, there was the smaller parentheses here. I don't know what happened, but this is not a way to do it. Just take that. I'm not that a pro. I'm just not a beginner. I've learned something and I'm trying to teach you that. So there might be a word errors. So that's not a big deal for me. And if you have completed the exercise, then do some clapping for you. And if you were not able to, no problem. Now you know it. Go ahead, do it, and try messing around with the print function. I know, no, I'm live streaming, so I shouldn't say that again and again. I'll give you 5 second pause the video and go. It's a live stream for those who know it, but those who don't know it, they have to pause it. So go ahead and pause the video. I'll give you 3 seconds now. Three, two, one. So how did it go? I hope it went well. And for me, the more I change it, the more it's going to be. So let's go. So let me just do it back to back. I'll reverse it. Okay, we are here because if I move it, because it's my REPL on I'm on my main, so I'll just edit. So you guys can do it. So if I just remove it, so it's going to just I'm sorry guys, I got a little confused where did my printing access go. So I was just thinking, and I'm sorry for that long delay. But here I'm back. So here we are back to the printing exercise. So you can just create it. I just gave it the name printing exercise. You can give it name here or while you are making it on this side. Here you'll put the Python in this. Don't put Python turtle. It has just a little bit more features, just like this is known as packages, or like these packager files, like this type of code or this type of code. Okay, so it's not something you don't want to touch. It's something you don't want to touch. You want to focus on this. And in the debugging exercise, you might have noticed this, and which is called as markdown. And here I did some things, debugging instructions, और जब run करोगे program, sorry, when you run the program, it should print this, and it should print a double. Oh, I remember why I said it. When I am doing it, it's not printing the plus sign, not the word, these parentheses near it. So you need to do it. I could say that's your homework. And so like this, I have got a link for you, so you can go here, and if you paste it, you should see. Yep, like this it should print. Okay, so you should do it. That's not a difficult thing. I know those who do it did it. That's good. So for the first exercise, I'll give you a thumbs up if you did it, and if you didn't, pause the video and try to do it again. And if you're able to, just try messing with the print function. It works where it works, it won't work. I just basically showed you where it works or not. So it's not much of a big still. Messing, the more you mess around with the code, the more you understand. And if you don't understand, there's Google's always the option. So I use the Brave browser, not trying to promote it or something. So if I just type, so it will obviously come with YouTube, but it's Brave beta browser. My the what results I see might be difficult from yours, because if I just go here and dismiss and search on Google, then this is the Google's preview for that. Okay, so don't get me wrong, I just use it because it's an ad blocker, so I don't get ads on YouTube, and I'm a big YouTube user. And I've seen videos, people just will start writing. It's like just they are commanding you to do something. Just print HELLOWRLD. Then in the next line they'll start with the next thing. Okay, so let's go like for them it's just like making a video, and the user just watches it and it just not learns, and like just backslash, and it's like they're just showing you how to make a program, but actually they're just writing bunch of codes, bunch of different types of codes, and when you run it there will be 3 lines of hello world. So it's not like they're not explaining it in detail enough. So this exercise is out of way. I'm not going to show you the variables ending code. I'll just explain you here. So I don't need it, but if I need, I'll show you. So before I tell you about variables, I'm sure you understood string. String is like, so this hello word is a string. But if I do this, okay, will it print? It won't. Uh, So let's see if it prints. It'll print. But in general case, when you're not using the print function, the 94 will be considered as an integer, and hello is the letters in symbols, so it will be considered as. So what you do is you use it to convert into something else. So that something, not I'm going no, I'm not going to teach it you. So if we see these words, you see these these are ways. For this big input, I have set this word to be equal to this big input. So, oh yeah, I didn't teach you the input. So input is something where you ask things. Print is something where you show the user. So if you do it, it's not asking you. Here you see this smiley. This means it has done what you said it. So you are not asked what is your name here, but if you just put the print function in it, so you do this. So uh, I did something wrong as I expected. It required it to be here. Okay. Okay. Oh, let's print it again. And it's gonna ask me. So if I type hello, here this all has been turned into hello. So if you want to know how it is, download Thorny, the Python IDE from beginners, in which when you write a code, well, let me just download it and just show you. Oh, I'm sticking a lot then. So let's just do that. So the input is something which will just turn this whole into something. So here after you do it, so here you need a variable first. So if we just take a and with space and equal space, oh, so here's the Tony, I accept it. It doesn't matter. Back, browse. Let's go back to Windows. C is not something I want. I want to it into Windows E. Yep, I would like to create you. Just this. Don't disturb me. Control C. So if I just remove it and wait for the Thorny to install, I don't use it, but I recommend it because I've seen how it works on Thorny. So I'll just do it. So I see Thorny is installed. So here we'll start. Let's go. We'll open. Here you see this step in, step out. So if I print the code, run current skip. What do you want me to do? Control enter. I'll just do it. Run. Okay. Let me just name it lol and put it in downloads for the time being. And now if I press not this, I don't see why it's not working. I've seen this should work. Now look at this. If you just do this, you see which bracket is for what, and you can see just like if you select this one and this one purpose. So here you can do it. This just became lol.py. .py is the Python. I don't know why it's not working. Oh, you do debug. So here you step into see this. It goes into input. What's your name? And yep. Let's do this. So it becomes and it prints human, and then just it's nothing left, and it's completed. So that's how it works. So I'm not a Sony fan, so I don't use it. But for me, you guys don't seem to be chatting too much. So whatever. So this is how your print function. And if you don't want it to print hello to you, so what will you do? It will you just create a variable. Variable is a word. It's a jar. You could say it's a jar of jam where you store jam, or you could store water in it, or you could store any sand in it. You could store whatever in it. For this works as same. This is a jar, and you could see this as your sand. So when you say print, we don't want this. Okay. So here you put plus a, and you see a main. This is the main.py, and this is the main a. So if you do it, so if you just select it, you see it's selected. And oh, oh, sorry, my bad. Hello, what's your name? Oh, I have to. Hello, him. So I didn't put a space. Hello, him. So you see how this works. And if I just write anything, it will do hello that. And you can scroll a little bit down then currently, and you can have just essentially infinite lines. This is a little hard to keep, but essentially there's no limit to do this. And if you might be thinking how the website earns, this is how it earns. Boosted repels are something on repel.it. Your repels will be seen. 5 always on repel means your repel will never fall asleep. After some times, the REPL falls asleep to save its internet, the website server internet. I didn't want to go there. So what happens? It just turns you offline. So whenever you are back, you type something. So here it comes the cloud, red cloud here. It didn't come, sorry, but for now, because I'm using it. And if I don't use it, sometimes it will just show the red. When I use it, I just type anything and stuff, and you can see you get 1001 GB of storage, you get 1 GB of storage and RAM, and you get 100 MB of RAM, around 100 MB of CPU. That's around good. And later it might be, and then you will be like a full-fledged or almost a coder. So you can just do it $7 a month or $74, and by the time you're doing it, you won't even be on the Ripple.it. So I'll be teaching you on Visual Studio. So here you see the this is the variable. So now I've told you about variables. So this is an exercise for you guys. You should be able to do this exercise. So here you are not allowed to change this much, and this code, it is not something for you to change. You are made to here right here. And if you need more lines, you can just press enter. Like if you are typing something and you just press enter, so it just makes a new line for you. So you can have as essentially as much lines as you want, and you can have this here. So how will you do it? I'll give you 5 seconds. and if you pause it, and if you are not able to, don't look into the answer, the ending code which I linked. Just wait, I'll give you a hint. And there's some hints down here too. So I'm not going to spoil the hint for you, but in the markdown which you will see when you will open it, it will be like this long. So you'll be able to see what, like if your input is 3 and 5. Look, if I run the code currently, so it'll ask me if I put it 5, 3. So it will just print 5 and 3. So we need it to do what? If I put 5 in A, in A I put 5, in B I put 3. So it should switch them. So in A it should be 3 and in B it should be 5. Okay, it's not much of a big deal. I've taught you variables and stuff, and and on my count, and your timer starts now 3 seconds, then I'll give you a hint. 3, 2, 1. So time's up. The hint I'm going to give you. Think, if you have 2 cups and you want to change them, what will you do? 2 cups, which one has coffee and one has tea. What will you do? You'll get a third cup. You'll pour the first one into the third cup, and the second one into the first cup, and the third one into the second cup. So the first and second cup are exchanged, and the third cup is still filled, and the contents are exchanged now. So here what we'll do? We'll create a third variable called C. So what will we make it equal to? It could be A, or it could be B, or it could be any variable written here. So I'll do it A. So C is equal to A. So if I am putting 5, so now C is the 5, not A. A is blank. So what we'll do? We'll put A equal B. So here A will equal to B, it means A will be 3. So first half work is done. A is 3, and now we may need the B to be 5. And here we'll put B equal C. So in here C is A. So C is A, CA. A is B, AB, and B is C. So essentially this has been exchanged with this. This is still empty as this, and this has directly been exchanged. So now if I run it, we put 5 and we put 3. It's 3 and 5. And you might have seen the hint. You should not have to type any numbers in your code. We should not. You might need to make some more variables, which I just gave you the hint in easier form. 3 cups. Input was 3 and 5, and it's 5 and 3. So I'll just do it. 3, 5, and it's 5 and 3. So if you just go, I'll just clear this so that when you are, because I'm just the main person. So you see, it's loading. Like if I do it, look, it's saving it when it's doing it. Because in here it's just like not blinking. In here it's saving it so that you guys can do it. Okay, so this is the ending. So here I've explained a little bit. A equal input. This is the same as old. Here you switch it when you need a third variable. Here to switch it you need a third variable. So it's 3 C, and C is equal to A. Now switching the variables, this, and now the code is done. And yep, that's something I forgot to tell you. If you completed the code by yourself, that's good. And if not, you should mess around with the variables, the \n, the print, the input functions. So that's all in this exercise. Go back to the video and learn more and more. And essentially you are on the video. So that's it for today, guys. That was go back to the video was something else I thought, because I thought first I'd teach you the variables, then I got give you a debugging exercise. But later I thought was, if I'll give you the debugging exercise later, so I'll have to add things with this variables, and it might be a little bit more tricky for you. So have a mess around with the code. I'll be back in a few days. I'll get you another thing, another video, and I hope my video was good for you to understand. And next time I'll make sure there are no disturbance in between, just like it happened a few times. I just had to mute there. So I'll see you guys later. So I hope you like the video, and let me just show you. Oh, we'll do this if I just open this. Okay, I'll just open it with Python. So it's just a calculator, just like it's a game. On multiplier of 3, it should say fizz. On multiplier of 5, it should say buzz. And on multiplier of 3 and 5 both, which is 15, multiplier of 15 essentially. So it's fizz buzz. So it's that. So yep, it's opening as I intended to. So if I open it with Notepad, you could say it's just a small coding. But if I open this one with Notepad, this is something you don't see some. I mean, this might not look like a bunch of code, but I'm sure, just like if you just do this, you can right click and you can inspect. This is much larger type. It's putting a photo, a video, big size of numbers. So it's a thing which is under the web development. So you don't need to mess with this thing. This is something you wanna do later on. So it's just telling you one issue here. It's not big deal. It's saying that I'm using the microphone. OBS Studio is using my microphone, which I'm using to stream. So you can't use my microphone right now. So I see, you'll see later that stream is delayed, but that's a few seconds of delayed. So I hope you have liked the stream, and if you don't, just like it. And I think you should use this Brave, because if you use laptop or browser, well, it's an ad blocker, so it's just easier to use ad-free YouTube and stuff like that up. But just like anime websites might overcome it, and it also blocks the trackers. Brave shields. It's a shield which doesn't allow website to track you, to send you personalized feed, just like the Facebook does it. I'm not trying to make it bad, but it just tracks you, what you like. It tracks you for good. But if this information gets into a wrong hand, it might be it might get led to a very big and bad thing. So I'll see you guys in the next video or stream.